Madam needs no introduction. She is an expert phaco and refractive surgeon with international reputation. Dr. Chitra Ramamurthy will be speaking on strategic pearls to phaco in subluxations. Over to you, madam.
Very good morning to one and all of you. Thanks, Dr. Sandhya, for this wonderful opportunity and KSOS for this my presence here. So this is a 12-minute talk, and I'm going to talk to you all in 7 minutes. So bear with me. So my due is to talk on the key strategies for subluxated cataract. So we know that when a lens is displaced from its normal position, but in the pupillary area it's subluxed, but it is not in the pupillary area, it could be anteriorly or posteriorly dislocated. The commonest cause for subluxation is traumatic and then only iatrogenic and other causes. And the main complaint is decreased vision and progressive changes in vision and increased astigmatism, amblyopia, diplopia, and of course signs of trauma. So we need to do a complete ophthalmic examination, and in a small child, we need to do a cardiac evaluation, metabolic screening, and a regular annual ophthalmic examination. And when you do refraction, you need to check which the myopic part or the aphakic part, which part the patient is able to see better, and give them glasses. And on a slit lamp, you will see that the AC is irregularly deep. There may be present of vitreous. There could be phacodonosis, and the phacodonosis is obvious in an undilated pupil because in the dilated pupil, the ciliary body supports it. You can look at the direction of subluxation, the quantum of subluxation, make the patient lie down. If in the supine position, the lens sinks down, then it's to be a pars plana approach. Then going on, you need to do all these evaluations, and if the fundus evaluation is not possible, you may have to do a B scan, and you have to use the latest formula. I'm going to go on to the key pearls which we need to keep in mind. The first thing, if it is a child, it has to be a cardiac evaluation. Fitness has to be taken. In adults, it can be a regional block. You should give IV mannitol, decompress the eye. There could be an intumescence of the cataract too. It could be a very elastic capsule too. So you need the eye, the positive pressure to be less in these eyes, and that makes a lot of difference. And the quantum of vitreous loss could be attended. You need to ensure that there's no vitreous, so you inject the tricot as and when you want. I would tell you when. Staining of the lens capsule, what you need to do is you should not straight away inject Trypan Blue because it will go behind the area of zonular weakness and you will not have good view. The red reflex will go. So what you need to do is inject viscoelastic and also in that area of the zonular weakness, and then over and above you paint the Trypan Blue so the red reflex will not be lost. As far as creating the rexus, it should be a highly retentive viscoelastic which should be placed so that to flatten the dome of the disc. Initiate the rexus from the area of intact zonules. You can start the rexus with the needle. After some distance, place the capsular hook and then go along. Leave 2 margin of the rexus so that there is enough capsular fornix to place the ring. And then when would you stabilize the capsular bag? A CTR, if you know it is not a progressive kind of zonular weakness, but it should be a CTR and along with the other anvils of support if there is going to be a progressive illness. We know that the CTR buttresses the capsular fornix. It also stretches the bag. So there are no wrinkles in the posterior capsule and there is no PCO. Sizing of the ring is related to the axial length. Longer the axial length, larger should be the ring. You would not place a CTR if there's an anterior capsular tear, PCR, incomplete rexus, or if it's a severely subluxated bag. How early would you place it? You can place it early enough, but remember in a very hard cataract, in the process of placing a CTR, you might increase the subluxation. How late can you put it? You can put it late in a softer cataract, but sometimes it makes sense to use capsular hooks to stabilize the bag and do a knee surgery and then place the CTR. And now, the support systems could be iris hook, but that supports at the capsular margin only, and it is polypropylene capsular hooks or nylon hooks. And going further, I'm actually going to take you all to the surgeries because these are very relevant things, but paucity of time. Now, this is a case which things were going good. Suddenly, there's an iatrogenic dialysis. So, inject viscoelastic, deepen the anterior chamber. You could have placed a CTR, but it always makes sense to place the CTR late. Remove the cortex, keep checking whether the dialysis is not increasing, and then tuck in your CTR and then place the lens. Now, that's all there is to it. Now, in this particular case, the surgery phacodonosis was not seen on CT, but while I started, I felt that the tactile stimulus was not there. It looked as if there was subluxation, no taking chances, place capsular hooks. And then I find I can easily rotate, I'm able to separate, I'm able to chop. But look carefully, that small area of zonular weakness superiorly. So I place a capsular hook, I stretch the capsular bag. Then again I feel no, I can't do phacoemulsification. I need to place a CTR, I need to stretch the bag, I need to support the capsular fornix. And then I do a supracapsular phacoemulsification, keeping in my phaco probe in the pupillar area. And then I put my lens inside. The cortex is still there. The lens is pushing back the PC because it could come trampolining in. And then I remove the iris hook and then I remove the cortex. There are these steps which you need to take. Now, this is a case of a traumatic cataract with a large area of subluxation. It's a soft cataract, so just with IA, I have removed it all. And now I take a call to place a CTR. And believe me, this patient has been coming for 10 years and he's fine. But in today's knowledge, I would have definitely placed a CTS and not just left him with a CTR. Now, this is a case where there's a coloboma there. So I make a Hoffman's pocket, inject viscoelastic to prevent fluid misdirection there, plan my rhexis away from the area of zonular weakness, closer to the zonular area, there could be a rhexis extension. And then remove I do an IA and remove the cortex, and not the cortex, the nucleus. And now I am placed my CTR, but I'm placing my Ahmed segment too. Now, why do I place my Ahmed segment here was, a CTR would have been enough because this is not a progressive zonulopathy. It's just a coloboma with an absence of zonules there. But by placing the CTS, that asymmetric back contracture which could happen later has been avoided. Now, this is a case of a very significant subluxation. So I make a corneal pocket for a Hoffman's pocket, inject viscoelastic in that area of zonal absence to prevent fluid misdirection, create a small rhexis, but I'm going to use capsule hooks to stretch the bag. So make it more centralized. To what extent? Just with my IA, remove the soft cortex, but that's not enough now. So now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to loosen the capsular hooks. I'll just place my CTR into the capsular bag. So one support is done, and then I would remove it, and then I'm going to place a CTS into the capsular bag, a sutured CTS, and then anchor it to this Hoffman's pocket. If I have a severe subluxation, I'm not going to go into great detail. Here I would do an iris clip IOL after scooping out the lens matter and position the iris clip the way we all know, like place it and so that enough iris is tucked in. Now, this was a case where the patient came in after a primary well-done surgery, but probably the stabilization of the capsular bag should have been done to the scleral wall. The patient comes with a subluxated IOL bag complex. So you need to give it to your retina surgeon to do a vitrectomy, total vitrectomy, remove it, and then do an SFIOL. Post-operatively, there are different issues, but the most important message is capsular phimosis is a possibility in these eyes because of the partially weak area and all that. So even if you support it, it makes sense to polish the lens, not to make a small rhexis, and make some relaxing capsulotomies. So the essence of this talk is subluxated cataract is something we really need to understand well, why we do each of these steps. And if you do a good, careful surgery, we do well in all our situations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, madam, for that excellent talk. I hope this session was informative. I thank all my co-instructors for their excellent presentation and the delegates for their participation. Thank you all.